Haz tu vlog. Am I focused? Okay guys, so as you guys saw on the last clip, that was a long, oh my god, my eyebrows looks like I'm cut. That was a while ago. It was like a couple days ago. I know I left off saying I'm gonna explain why I haven't recorded, or I'm going to show you guys what me and Eddie are working on later on. Okay, let's just put it this way. So Eddie got home that day and we went to and did ahead what we had to do. Ahorita, while I'm recording. He gets all mad. Sorry if my eyes seem like I'm wanna cry. It's just I haven't, like, obviously I have natural lighting during the day, but I'm not like sitting staring at it. So I wanted to explain myself what happened that day really quick. So turned out that Eddie got home, we did what we had to do, which was him teaching me how to drive. Most of you guys know that I did not have a driver's license for a long time, and I had my driver's test the next day. So practically it was horrible, Eddie teaching me, because obviously he was teaching me the parallel parking, everything in one day, you know. Me and Eddie are those people that we procrastinate so much, and it's intentionally, honestly, but the truth of the matter is that he teaches me that all in one day, and I was overwhelmed. I did really good, right? But like, you know, when you feel like you're not prepared. I had driven in the freeway before, I had driven in the streets before. Even before getting with Eddie, I would drive to school and everything, but just like the parallel parking and a bunch of other things like yield. In my town, yield was used, let's say, obviously it was used, but not as much as city, you know. City has different, more, it has different types of things. I'm just like mumbling. I was not prepared for the driver's test, okay? My test was in California, and obviously Eddie's driver's test he did was in Nevada. I went up to the driving test thinking I'm gonna fail this, right? Turns out the lady was in a great mood. I had an amazing lady, she was the best. And she didn't really ask me to do anything besides parking on the curb, but it wasn't parallel. It was like just park on the curb, you know, don't hit the curb, and that's it. Easy peasy. She just drove me around town. I thought she was gonna take me up the freeway. I did the roundabouts perfectly fine. I did mess up in one yield, but I was just so nervous, and I think I had just passed, let some pedestrians pass, so I was just all over the place with my things. Literally, I just passed missing 2 points, so I did pretty good. So that was my experience. I know I'm like going off topic, and that was what me and Eddie were gonna do, recording me trying to drive, which would have been amazing. But when we were like all the way downtown, we were like, we forgot your camera, you know. And I think I was really nervous, and he was too, that I didn't even think of like, hey, let's take out the phone or anything. So that happened. And that's pretty much why I left off like how I did. I said I was gonna sit down and do a very like well thought of video about why I haven't been on YouTube. And like before, we had, I think I put, we're taking a break a couple months ago, and then I did one again when I was like, oh, I'm gonna start doing this. Well guys, turns out that after Christmas, after Vlogmas, you know how I did the whole Vlogmas for like 12 I think days, or 11, 10 maybe. Unfortunately, my son did get a big lump on his throat, which would be like right here. I'm gonna put some pictures, insert some pictures right after this clip. So technically he got those lump that later on progressed into being something huge, red, fever for like 2.5 weeks. Where we go to the doctor, we went to our regular doctor, mine and Rafael's. Eddie's dad obviously goes to a different doctor because he lives in a different area, but me and Rafita went to our regular doctor in our town, and we show up at the ER, we show up at the clinic. They're telling us, oh, it's lymph nodes, don't worry about it, it's gonna heal in a matter of days, he won't have a fever. And I feel like they thought I wasn't listening to them, which I was, guys. I really was. I was really trying to, you know, get the doctor's side of his, like, I was trying to get his, not his side of the story, but like his opinion, what he thought, his professional opinion, you know. And I feel like those doctors thought I was just bugging them, but I wasn't. I really wasn't trying to, like, I feel like they thought I was showing up there, and I feel like they were thinking like, you keep showing up and he doesn't have anything, and there's patients here that actually need us, you know. And I did feel guilty at times. At the end, that's when I waited for my appointment, because I kept going to, so I would make an appointment like every other 4 days, but in between those days I would go to the ER every single day. So I waited till that last appointment. I waited 3 days, like a whole weekend, and when I show up to the clinic, they tell me, okay, that's not right, you keep telling us he has fever. And I feel like they thought I was lying about the fever. No, he did not. He had a fever for 2 weeks straight. A fever, 104 point some, no, I think it was 103. The highest was 104, but he had it around 101.4 the whole time, and the highest was 104.4, I think it was, which is extremely high. When we show up, he has a fever, and they're like, hey, has he been having this? I'm like, I've been here for the past 2 weeks. Of course he's been having a fever, you know. I should have expressed myself more with the doctors, like, hey, I'm not leaving, you know. And at the end I did get that attitude, but like, you're not listening to me. Like, my frustration, my head was like on a different level, you know. So she tells me, this is not okay. We've been seeing him, which I already knew. It's not okay, like, he needs attention. She was just telling me all the things I wanted to hear, and it sounds so weird to say that because she was telling me such bad results, and I'm over here saying that's what I wanted to hear. But I wanted to hear that because I knew what was wrong with him, not because I wanted him to have that. I just said it like, you know, you're telling me what I wanted to hear, like what I was thinking this whole time, and you guys are telling me that I'm wrong. So she says, I'm sorry, you know. She told me he's gonna get an emergency surgery. We're gonna transfer him to the city, which is over here where Eddie lives. And I'm like, okay. At this point, I'm like freaking out, you know, because obviously I wanted her to tell me what I thought it was, and like for it to be cured. But you know, you get that like sensation, or that nervous, or that like, I had never been separated from my child. Or let's put it this way, he had never been separated from his family. He's always with a family member. It's either Eddie's mom, Eddie, me, my mom. Like, he's never been in an area where we're not there, 3 feet away, or even 1 feet away, you know. So she's telling me he's gonna get surgery. So I'm over here like about to cry, you know, but I'm holding it together because I can see Eddie's mom, and I'm holding it together because I know my mom is gonna freak out. But then again, I remembered retracing back, not trying to get too much off topic, but when my first son passed away, oh my god, I'm like getting teary. I paused my emotions. I let my body not understand or fully take in what I was feeling for my child, because I was trying to be the stronger person for other people. And I'm over here sitting with Rafita in my arms saying like, I'm not gonna, you know, like I'm over here frozen thinking like my child is going into surgery. So I'm doing great. We get to the doctors. I'm doing amazing. They're checking him. They took him to an MRI 2 times. He's crying. He's desperate. I'm holding it in. I'm holding it in. I'm holding it in. At this point, we went to the doctors at 8 in the morning. I think even 7:30. This point, it's like 12. And I'm holding it in. No, lies. Like 1:30. And I'm over here like, okay, everything is gonna be okay, everything's gonna be okay. So they tell me the surgeon is gonna come and talk to you, you know, she's gonna let you know what she wants to do, because it was either her doing a little incision in the in his room where they had him, or it was either putting him completely to sleep and taking him in the emergency in the OR. And I was so down for doing it in the room, but she comes in and she tells me like, you know, him moving, we don't want to risk anything, it's in his face, you know, like it's more severe. We just want to make it right, and we want to make it fast, and we want to make it easy. But in my head, nobody in my family has ever, I think a few, like a handful, have been put completely to sleep. And that's one of my biggest fears. One of my biggest fears is to be put completely to sleep. And much more my 1-year-old child, you know? So I look at her and she's telling me this, and she says, we're gonna go ahead and put him to sleep. And once she says that, guys, I look and I had my 2 sisters, my 2 cousins in the room, which are my mom's nieces. And nobody has ever seen me cry. Trust me, it's like a handful of people, and it's like I don't really cry like how I cried. And obviously I would do it on Aaron, but I'm not those people to show emotions. I'm not. Like, you meet me and you know that I'm not those people, you know? So I look at them and I cry like a baby. Like, I'm literally like, I can feel like if I saw myself, I would cry, because I could see the pain in my own face. I could feel the pain in my face. Like, they could see it. They started crying immediately. And it was just such a terrifying moment for me that I said, screw everyone else, and somebody help me out, because I'm gonna lose my head. Like, I'm literally gonna lose my brain. My mom, take a note, my mom, Eddie, and his mom, and my aunt were all eating lunch, because we had been in the emergency room for so long. So they were in the lunch, they come in and they see me cry, you know. My mom, no, one of my cousins is hugging me like really tight, so my mom can't really see my face, but she can hear me, and Eddie can hear me. So now they're both really wondering what's going on. I did see that Eddie, when he saw me, he didn't get emotional, but I did see that it was like a big toll on him. You could feel it in his body. He got kind of tense. He got kind of like his face expression changed a lot. And my mom obviously started crying. And then that's when Eddie's mom was holding it together, which I really appreciate her for that, because honestly, we were all losing our heads. Like, it was just crazy. So they take him in, they do the surgery. The whole time they said it takes 30 minutes. It did. It took like 30 minutes, and it took more for him to wake up. So it was like an hour and 30 minutes waiting for him. So the whole time I'm crying. I'm literally crying. Like, I'm sitting away from everyone just crying. Well, obviously with Eddie, and Eddie's like trying to make me laugh and doing stupid jokes and stuff. So I'm over here crying, you know, like I'm just like losing my head like my little baby. And I'm hugging this like chicken that they gave me. This like little chicken. Oh, hold on, baby. Hold on. Leave it there. No, no, no. Leave it there. So I'm holding this little chicken stuffed animal that they gave me. And I'm like crying. They told me to go and see him. He's perfectly fine. The recovery was fine. They left the wound open. He does have a little scar. I don't want to interrupt him. He's playing and watching TV, but it's just a little scar as big as my nail, like right there. Actually a little longer, like this long, that long. So it's on his neck and it healed perfectly fine. He's been doing great, no fever, no anything. And yeah, that was a really big scare. Turns out that a couple days after they did announce that there was a murderer in town, they did announce there was a murderer in town. He did kill a lot of people, and I was paranoid the whole time. So pretty much that's pretty much it. My son getting sick, and then this crazy person just sneaking in at people's homes at night and murdering them was such a big toll on me. It gave me anxiety. It gave me anxiety, a lot of anxiety, fear for my own life. So that was pretty much it. I wanted to make this video short. My camera is acting weird. So please like, comment, share, subscribe. I will be posting a lot more. I am actually throwing my baby a baptism and a birthday party. Stay tuned for all DIYs, for all vlogs. And I'll see you guys next time. ¿Dónde te pegaste? ¿Aquí? ¿Te hiciste ouchie? ¿O acá? ¿Dónde? ¿Dónde te hiciste? ¡Pum! ¿Dónde? ¿Besitos?